Hey, it's really late here, but I really had to do a reply video. I just spat all over the keyboard. I really have to do a reply video to what was I doing? Age limits and reading tag by Devour Books. God, I know who you are. You guys all know Richard. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so tired. My cat had kittens today, and I'm looking after dogs, and it's just so tiring. Anyway. Um, a few things I want to comment on. One, that woman in the library that Richard overheard speaking, I seriously would have just picked up a couple of books and slapped her in the face. It's This is what I hate about people and their not understanding of books. It is not the worst thing in the world to read a book. In fact, I happen to think people who read books, in my point of view, are more, I wouldn't say worldly, but I don't know, I just appreciate people who even take the time, even if they just like non-fiction books, even if they like reading like short stories or whatever, I don't care. I think people who take the time to read, I appreciate a lot more than people I don't. That's not to say that that sounded wrong, but my brother doesn't read, but I still appreciate him. But I think you guys get the point. Age limits. Well, looking at my shelf, I have a shitload of young adult novels and a shitload of adult novels. Most of my adult novels, which are crime novels, are actually in my cupboard at the moment because I can't read them. I've, I just finished, well, I'm almost finished this book here, and this is an adult novel. And I'm an adult. I'm 20, and you know, I've been reading adult books since I was like in my teenage years, same as young adult novels, and I fell back in love with reading young adult novels last year, really. And I thought, because I have lots of adult novels, it doesn't mean I don't like adult novels, but I put them aside because right now my mood does not need this much intensity. Like, this book was just, it made my head hurt. My head hurt so bad. And I don't like reading adult novels at the moment. And I mean, adult novels like crime and stuff, but I don't think that there should be a limit on it. Just like teenagers can read adult novels, why can't adults read young adult novels? That's the point. Um, my mum reads young adult novels, and she's in her 60s. So, no, she's not 60 yet. Lucky she's not watching this. But she's like a couple of years off 60, and she loves young adult novels. Once I finish with mine, I pass them on to her. She's read my not middle school books, but um, get example, Louise Renison, The Confessions of Georgia Nicholson. I guess you guys have probably seen or heard of Angus Songs and Full Frontal Snogging, or the new book that's out now, which is Withering Tights. She writes for, I think, about 12, 13-year-olds to about 17-year-olds, I think. And my mum loves it, and she's 60. So, there's no real limit on it, like, on what you can and can't read. Providing, I know there's a lot of it going around at the moment, and I don't like to say this, okay? I don't like to say, oh, well, this book you shouldn't read if you are under 18. I will do it in rare circumstances, like this book, that has a lot of, not so much dark topics, but sexual topics that I do not think people under the ages of 17, 16 would actually be able to comprehend. I mean, I'm not saying that they're dumb, they would be able to comprehend them, but even for a 20-year-old mind, it's very intense, and I don't think people should be reading it if they don't fully understand it's very hard to explain, but yeah, no, I'm rambling. I just don't think people should read it. And if I don't think that is really, really, really suitable for people under the ages of 18, I will say so. Whereas an adult's book that has dark content like rape, murder, things like that, I'll say go ahead. If you want to read it at your own risk. That is your choice. I believe strongly in choice of books. A lot of the time, for example, one of my friends that I used to talk to, his dad said, no, you can't read Stephen King. And he was about 17 or so. You can't read Stephen King. You can't read adult books. You have to read these books. He was literally telling him what books he could and couldn't read. And I said to my friend, why? Why are you listening to this? And he said, my dad said I have to read age-orientated books. Why? If you want to read a freaking deep, engrossing adult novel when you're 15, go for it. That is your own thing. I hate people telling me that I can't read a certain book, even though I'm 20. You can't read sports books because you're not interested in sports. Well, who says? I might be. Same with that young adult novels. You can't go up to someone and say, right, well, you're about 30 now. You should be reading adult books. I think you're a little bit past young adult stage, grow up. Because quite honestly, you'll find that most of these people either don't read themselves or haven't opened themselves up enough to enjoy a young adult novel. I know there's a lot of adults who have been reading adult novels for a long time and started blogging or going on YouTube or going to the library and picking up a book and saying, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. It's an easy read, it's got a good storyline and stuff, and they find it just engrossing. And they fall in love with YA, and it's happened to so many people. And for me, I love YA. I do. I really do love it. I think it's fantastic. Right now, I was just having a discussion with my partner about reading adult books and saying that I really need to read some young adult books. And it's not because they're easy reads, it's just because I enjoy them so much more. Obviously, because they're about teenagers. And I'm just past that stage. And I like that. I like to read about people who are going through, I like to know about people's families at my age. I like to know about situations. I like to know about controversial situations. But there's so many topics that are explored so much better in YA than adult novels, in my opinion. Anyway, I find that there are a lot more topics explored in young adult novels than there are in adult novels. But that's just me, like in the contemporary sort of way. But I might be rambling because I'm a bit tired. But I hope that makes sense. I just don't think people should, one, judge people on what they read, and two, try and control them. It's just another thing people are trying to control. If a person wants to read young adult books, frickin' leave them alone. Because honestly, at least they're reading. I cannot stand these people who come up to me and go, oh, reading is so boring. Why are you wasting your time? And I'll be like, excuse me, girlfriend, I'd rather spend my weekend reading a book than going out and getting drunk off my face. And it's just, I would rather spend the weekend reading Anna and the French Kiss than reading a grotesque book on murder. Or a really heavy topic that's approached in an adult manner in an adult book. Or I'd rather read Anna and the French Kiss than reading some really drony book that is an adult fiction book. That's just like a whole book worth of dribble. Why am I going to spend the whole weekend reading something like that just because I feel like I need to be an adult or I have to read an adult book because I'm an adult? Not going to happen. So yeah. No, my mouth is really dry because I've had so many teas and I'm really tired. So yeah, that is my response. I hope it made sense. Okay, I'm going to go to sleep now. Bye.